Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And, Steven Crowder has been, he's been a bit of a cringemeister for a lot of years. This is a guy who, he was kind of like this, I would say he's the goofy Charlie Kirk. He's this white guy, and he's not the type of guy you want to hang out with because he's always acting like he's kind of retarded. It's like one of those guys you just can't take seriously. You look at him and you just can't take him seriously. I mean, look at that fucking beard. But he has like a bit of a comedy political show. And he's one of those guys, and I think he was the first one that would go to college campuses and sit at a table, and the table would say, global warming is bullshit. Prove me wrong. And of course, the college kids just are retarded. They don't know their asses from their elbows, so they all look stupid. Until Crowder meets and starts to debate other people that are knowledgeable, then he looks like the fool that he is. But anyway, he has this theme where he goes to a black barbershop and he tries to reason with the blacks in the barbershop. And this barbershop is filled with people and no one's getting a haircut. Now, I go to the barbershop. I see 3 or 4 people. I'm kind of pissed off because now I got to wait. These people just hang out there. I mean, do these guys have jobs? I want to know how these people support themselves. I want to know how these people pay the rent, pay their electric bill. How do they eat? I just don't fucking get it. I mean, what am I doing wrong? Anyway, there I go ranting again. This is like these are just like clips in the beginning, kind of like a trailer, but I hate to say it, but black people are just delusional. You ever see that thing, didn't do nothing? I mean, they really do emphasize that. They have no clue that they are as destructive and as just pungent people. They just don't realize it. And you know why they're not supposed to realize it? Because that's just their nature. That's why we're not the same. They don't understand when we say, hey, when you come to a neighborhood, you start, things, you leave a mess all over the place, and there's drugs and there's violence. And they're like, what are you talking about? We don't do that. They just don't realize it. They don't see it. It's like when you talk to a psychotic person, they don't understand they're psychotic. It's delirium. They just, their mind tricks them into thinking that it's normal. Period. I mean, what else can you say? Well, here's Steven. He's trying to reason with the unreasonable. Let's see if he gets far.
Have you guys heard of the term black fatigue?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys know what that means?
Since the last time you came, that's become a thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's just become a recent thing.
And do you know what it means?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to ask that.
White people are 12 times as likely to be killed by a black person than the other way around. I'm just going to shoot you straight. It's not even close.
Where?
Across the country.
Ain't nobody coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody tripping on you. But these people in just as scared as the other folks.
They are if they get on a bus.
Not necessarily.
They are if they get on a train.
That lady wasn't in danger because that man was black. That lady was in danger because that man was crazy.
Nope.
Whenever we want to ask for equality and fairness, it's a problem. So white America.
So it spends several $1 trillion. When is it enough?
Where's the bird?
No.
Where's the bird?
You're not stopping
white America from doing anything.
You know what? The bird just burned down $4 billion worth of cities and 60,000 assaults.
No.
There's 3 times to 4 times as much homework than the black kid, and the white kid does 2 to 3. Why?
Because it's culturally, it's conditioned.
Exactly.
So why is it better parenting from Asians than white parents? Why?
You said what?
Well, we're having real talk. Why do young black men fight in packs?
They just don't get it. And I commend Steve for trying. I commend him for trying. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. But I mean, hell is a place where reason doesn't exist. And he's trying to reason with these people. And let me tell you, you don't want to ever reason with an idiot because the idiot will bring you down to his level. This is why we shouldn't bother with them. That guy, what was his name? Scott Adams, the cartoonist, when he just said, just ignore them, leave them alone, get away from them. He was right. He was totally right. There is no reasoning with these people. None whatsoever. Here's another little clip.
You have young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad
And they have the
Black
guts.
people
They're mad because this
Why they
thing.
mad at
Here's
black
why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And you go, well, that doesn't count. They go, look, my dad's business got burned down.
Yeah.
And where?
My city got burned down.
They're totally oblivious to the destruction that their people have done. They're oblivious to the crimes that they're responsible for. They're oblivious to the neighborhoods that they've destroyed. They're oblivious to the terrible social impact they've put on white children with their degenerate, garbage, demonic entertainment. Their comedy, their music, it's all sophomorish garbage. It's crud. And it's passed for entertainment. And if you don't like it, you're racist or you're not down. There used to be a time where people used to listen to symphony. Now we're listening to Glorilla. The fuck happened to us?
Accused of being a racist, even though I'm not. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion, and I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked. And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism. You have young white people who are getting.
I've told you many times before that there will be a day when the pendulum will swing back. God help us all when it does. Because when that pendulum swings back, there will be nothing to stop the horror that will follow it. And of course, black people will run to other white people, say, help us, please. Jews will do the same thing. Help us, please. And there'll be another massive war. And it'll be white brother killing white brother. Just like it happened 160 years ago. It's going to happen again. And these blacks won't fight for themselves. They can't. They're not capable of it. They scream, they yell, they like Crowder says, they fight in packs. But the minute there's a one-on-one situation or another pack of people come in, the media makes it out to be a racial thing, a hate crime. There's going to be a day when the white liberal's voice will be closed and the white nationalist voice will be heard. I hope I am not here for it. But it is coming. It is coming. You see it on social media with these videos now where these white kids are not taking shit anymore. They're not going to get bullied anymore. It's just not. They'd rather go down fighting. And when they start fighting, look out. Look the fuck out. Because black people have zero chance of getting out of this alive. If it doesn't stop. If they don't come to heal and learn what their place in this country is. Because they don't have to stay here. It's not theirs. It was not meant for them. They were only here to pick cotton and tobacco. That's it. They were supposed to go back. James Monroe. Read anything about James Monroe. Read anything about Abraham Lincoln. He did not want these people here. There was a plan in his second term. He was killed, of course. There's a plan in his second term to remove all the blacks from the cities and from the states and bring them back to Africa because they knew that the blacks could not adjust to Western civilization. It's just not in their DNA. They just can't do it. They're not sophisticated enough to do this. We can't blame them for it. We can't expect them to change. They're never going to change. It's just not who they are. It's kind of frustrating. And when you look at people like Steven Crowder, who is not the most educated guy in the world. You give him the benefit of the doubt that, hey, at least he tried. At least he's trying. Here's a guy that we should all, man, if we only had more of him. Jared Taylor. He gives a couple of explanations of why we are so important, why it's important to maintain what we have. You know, over social media, we've been seeing a lot of pictures, and these are mostly like agitators or, you know, people mocking interracial coupling, which I'm totally against. But there was a pictures of like these black guys with white girls and homecoming and stuff like that. You can't tell me as a white father you'd be okay with that. Yeah, you know, no, there's no white father on the planet when his little baby girl was born. His pride and joy, the greatest thing that ever happened to him. The first thing that goes through his mind is, "Oh, I hope she meets a black guy." It's fucking insane. Here's Jared Taylor here, where common sense finally makes sense. And here he is shutting down a reporter.
What you're saying is somehow whites were about to choke to death on their own homogeneity when people like yourself kindly arrived with diversity and saved us from ourselves. No, we built a wonderful country that your ancestors could not have been. That is why people like you come here. And the more you come in larger numbers, you will change the country my ancestors built into something else. And it is completely normal for me to wish to oppose that.
Mr. Taylor, I've taken enough of your time.
There you go. There you go. You know, they banned him on every platform too. I think he still is banned on X. No, he's not. He's on X. He is back on X and on some social platforms. But here is another example of black delusion. There's no the black fatigue is real, but this is that guy Tariq Nassim, whatever the hell his name is. It doesn't matter, but he's one of these guys who preaches white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. Everything is white supremacy, right? He can't prove anything. It's just everything is white supremacy. But of course, the black man ruled the world since the beginning of time, which I always found, of course, it's laughable because black people never ruled anything except other black people. But if I could just sit down with a guy and ask him and say, how did you guys, if you guys ruled everything, how did 8 or 10% of the country, 8% of the population steal it from you? Forget about that. How do they own you for thousands of years? If you guys invented everything, if the black man, like this guy says, invented mathematics and science and astronomy and all that other bullshit, how are they dumb enough to allow white people who are crawling around in caves, barefoot, sleeping with animals? How did those people take everything from these people? That's the one question they can never answer. Black delusion is real. They cannot adjust to our ways of life. They are here because they don't want to lose what they have here. And that's the generosity of white people. Because if they go to Africa, they won't last 6 months there. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves there. You take them out of the white man's world, forget it. Fucking forget it. This is a great conversation. It's about 3 minutes. Jared Taylor's kind of funny. This guy's name is Tariq. Mr. White Supremacy.
You will not allow black folks to have an ethno-black state because we're in a global system of white supremacy, sir. So it's just circular rhetoric, Mr. Taylor, sir.
Wait. No, so,
you're practicing the religion of white supremacy. It's the open-ended white supremacy, sir.
What's the solution to this open-ended white supremacy? What's the solution?
If I knew the solution, I would be putting it on billboards right now. Black people have not figured out how to not be dominated by white supremacy. The problem is, you know what, unfortunately, a lot of black folks don't even realize we're in a global system of white supremacy. That's the sad thing. That's the, I kind of realize it, but I'm in the minority here. And this is why the white supremacists are so powerful.
Well, okay. Now, you realize white people are probably only 15% of the population of the world.
No, they're less than that. You're 8% of the population.
Okay, 8%. That's fine. And yet, this 8% manages to dominate the entire globe.
Yes.
How come?
Because the white supremacists were smart enough to use deception in a way that has never been used before. Black people across the planet, they've been used to this honor system with dealing with each other, and they have not realized that because most people, well, not most, the whole planet was black at one point. If we
Really?
It was.
North America, South America?
Yes, absolutely. Look at the Olmec statues down in South America. Even in Britain, they just came out with a story talking about Cheddar Man was a black.
Of course, Cheddar Man has been debunked. It was a fake skull. I think it was a skull of the jaw of a pig or something like that with a white. It was a fake.
Black people up in modern Britain. So we dominated the planet.
The whole planet?
The whole planet.
Okay,
Wait,
great. You have the whole planet.
You guys, are you, Tariq, sorry to interrupt. Are you, do you believe the theory that you guys, black people built the pyramids? Is that true?
Yes.
Of course.
Who else built them? Who else built them? Wait, who else built them? 3,000 years ago.
You believe you were Kangs? Is that true?
No. Who built the pyramids 3,000 years ago?
Well, as a matter of fact, let me answer this question.
Come on,
go ahead.
I gotta hear this. Go ahead.
They have just done a set of DNA tests on ancient Egyptian mummies. They tested a set of mummies. Oh, now you're going to tell me the results were lies because they're white people who did it, and it's all white supremacist baloney. So can't believe it's just like crime rates. It's just like the unemployment rate. All white supremacist lies.
Get it out, make it believe. Come on.
I don't even have to spit it out. You already tell. Okay. Look.
No,
what they found was this. They tested mummies from between 1380 BC until 425 AD. And they found that the DNA of these people is very closely related to the ancient people of present-day Israel, Jordan, Syria. That these were Middle Eastern people. Today's Egyptians, which I don't know if you would call them black, but today's Egyptians have some black admixture, but that admixture showed up about 700 years ago. The people who built the pyramids were by no means sub-Saharan Africans, and that has been clear for years.
I just like the way he delivers because he's so calm. He's very stoic. Now, I'm not 100% sure Jared would like even me, being that I'm Catholic. I think he's more of a Protestant Anglo-American. But he was born in Japan. He lived in Japan for 16 years. And his PhD, he's a pretty brilliant guy. But he just shows you the delusion that black people have. They can't understand reality. And they may never understand it. And that's why if you read the Stoics, if you look at Mark Twain or Walt Whitman, they all preach never argue with an idiot. Don't argue with anyone. Don't discuss anything of substance with somebody who doesn't have any substance, because they will drag you down to their level. They will frustrate you. They will annoy you. And at the end of the day, they win. And we don't want that. We have to stay positive. We have to develop. We have to create. We have to have a purpose so we can evolve. And there's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And remember, my friends, Satan is always, always, always busy. Be a man. Have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you later.